all this to turn off? Wrong one. There we go. Welcome to the booth, guys. As always, I got my co-host here, Taylor, and today we have a special guest, Wes Bowers. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. If you guys don't know, he plays in the XFL for the Vegas Vipers, and apparently there's a fight song. We're gonna get right into it, man. I hope you got those vocals. I saw a video on the Vegas Vipers Twitters of you singing it. So can we get you to sing it?
I got a little something. It's still in the works.
Gotcha.
So we trying to get the instrumental behind it for the stadium.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But yeah, so it goes something like this. Don't I did the wrong day.
Warm up them pipes.
Go Vipers, go. Fight for victory. And then clap, go Vipers, go. Our team can't be beat. Go Vipers, we rock them, we sock them all game long. Vipers yell our fight song. Go, go, Vipers, go. Fight for victory. Go, go, Vipers, go. Our team can't be beat. Go Vipers,
V-I-P-E-R-S. Vipers.
Vipers.
There we go.
Oh, boy, that would motivate me.
We got the whole like the global gym kind of.
Absolutely.
I like it.
That's
Did you
awesome.
come up with
I liked
that?
it, man.
Yeah, I came up with it probably 6 o'clock in the morning. The same day the video came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice, man.
People in chat saying "Go Vipers" already. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, we have up on, you can't see it, but we have up a little kind of graphic that says linebacker for Vegas Vipers, graduate from Georgetown. And is it pronounced, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Bowie State or?
Oh, yeah, Bowie State
University. And then you participated in HBCU Legacy Bowl. I have that you are him and that you're a professional headhunter. So
absolutely.
Anything you'd like to add to the list?
Yeah, that about covers everything. Big shout out. I'm from PG County, Maryland. So always got to shout out the hometown. Love it back there. Got a lot of people to help me get to this position. My family and all those. My mom, grandparents. Phenomenal back there. My trainers. So I'm gonna just give out a quick shout out to ETC. I got Coach Tobe, Coach Reggie. Did phenomenal work to help me, progress where I am right now. And then Coach Ellis, the whole gang from my high school, Bishop McNamara, Coach Ellis, Coach Joey. Those guys kind of really started me on my football journey. Coach G, my first, my coach in high school. So, but, basically me in the, I guess the grand scheme of things, just a young kid from PG County, Maryland, chasing the dream. Started football at the young age of 4. My grandfather introduced me to the game. I did a lot of sports growing up, but football kind of was my outlet because I played basketball. I couldn't really be too physical in basketball. So, I started tackling and I was like, man, this is fun. So kind of just stuck with football for the long run. And once I got to high school, it was just like, yeah, let's do this. So,
stick with it.
Yeah,
I'm glad you stuck with it. I mean, we looked up some of the tapes and everything we saw was exciting.
Yeah.
We also heard that you like to cook.
Oh, man.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. I would say my hobby is cooking and singing. If anything, those are some good things.
What's your go-to meal, like your favorite meal to cook? Just whip it up on a weekend. What is that one meal that you go to?
So I was interesting. So chicken Alfredo, but now it's kind of a tofu Alfredo because I'm vegan now. So so I guess like a variation of Impossible meat and some Alfredo.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with tofu.
Does that change it that much? I mean, I've never had tofu personally, so I can't really speak on it and say like that sounds good because I've never had tofu. But is it that big of a difference, like the change of taste and everything, or is it pretty much the same? And
I would be lying if I told you it wasn't different. It's very different, but it's all about the imagination.
Oh man.
Anything you put your mind to, you can make it taste exactly how you want it to. I got you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then, well, so with tofu, for me, I've never had tofu either. I'm gonna have to try it, but if I don't like it, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably douse it in some hot sauce or something like that. That's kind of like if I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like the food,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna douse it in hot sauce. Now
Yeah.
I know it's like a little healthier for you. So, and I know tofu is a little healthier for you, but I'm, but I do enjoy meat. So,
Man.
hey,
Trust me, I have my days. I'm like, man, I could go for a piece of chicken or a steak.
how long have you been
Yeah.
vegan?
So probably 10 months now. So I'm fairly new to it, but it's been a journey, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen any changes from switching over?
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, just my stamina's increased. Like more so in the aspect of like my recovery. My recovery time is decreased. I don't have a lot of inflammation in my joints. I'm able to be consistent. Go hard day to day, and recover fairly quickly with minimal, you know, I guess things required to recover. So it's been some good changes, body weight and things like that. Being able to maintain throughout a rigorous, workload. So definitely seen a lot of good things coming out of it.
It's definitely good.
Well, I might need to have to go and try some tofu because I'm on the weight loss journey, and I'm trying to find new avenues to incorporate into my diet because I'm a huge fan of buttered chicken, and I just recently just made a dish. I want to say, was it Friday? I think it was Friday. I made it from scratch. I got a recipe, and I just don't know if tofu could really be incorporated into that meal.
No,
just,
not at all. It can't.
that's just one of those meals where it's like I think it has to be chicken. And I think if I put tofu in it, it would just completely change it and ruin the dish for me.
Absolutely. With that, just original recipe. Keep it as it is, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Butter chicken all day.
Now, do you have a? You say you like to cook, and there's a famous saying from the what do you want to call it? The not the owner. Is he the owner? The Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He's the owner of the XFL.
Yeah.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Now, is there gonna be a sack celebration? Do you smell what the West is cooking? Do a little chopping it up, throwing it in down there.
Yeah, that's it. The sack celebration, taco celebration. Those things are definitely in the works. Workshopping it now. I don't know if I might, do a little. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still
Gotta
working
flex
on
on
it.
them.
But yeah, it's
Kind of
definitely
a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. February 18th is gonna be a lot of those. Hopefully, So
Yeah, that's the start of the season, correct?
yeah, that's our first game, February 18th here against Arlington Renegades.
Yep.
Awesome.
Now, are you guys gonna come out with the win?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't even ask him that question. That's like
confidence.
a fact. We can put it down on paper right now. Like,
all right. If I'm a betting man, I'm putting
No
some
doubt.
money on the Vipers this upcoming week. Or is that weekend? What is the 18th? It's 2 weeks from now.
it's about
Almost
2 weeks.
about 2 weeks. So yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. We're working hard, guys. Excited. Everybody's excited in the organization. So we're definitely looking on to put on a good brand of football come February 18th.
Now, someone from the comments says, as a linebacker, do you watch the QB's eyes or hips? I ask because I know the QBs use their eyes to fool the defense. So what are you looking at as a linebacker when going back for a pass?
So yeah, in the pass game, a big indicator for me is the shoulders, quarterback shoulders. That'll tell you a lot. If you look at the eyes, like they said, it could deceive you, but the shoulders, just key the shoulders. It's kind of hard to throw without, pointing in the direction of your shoulders. But the shoulders definitely, if it's high, I'm thinking deep ball. If it's short, I'm thinking, right here, right now. And quarterback steps is a good indicator for me, just to see if it's if it's a quick pass, 3-step, 5-step, just to understand the route progression. So that's a great question, man.
if you were going up against somebody like Patrick Mahomes and the way that he plays, how would you kind of break him down in a scenario like that? Because I mean, his shoulders, I mean, that man could be, cocked like this, ready to throw a deep ball, and then he immediately throws it off to the side for a check down pass. I mean, how do you read somebody like that?
Well, first thing I would make sure my D line is fed very well, very well rested, and know that I love them very much because they're gonna have to hunt that day.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, with a quarterback like that, you got to scheme something up. You like that's gonna be a big scheme game, trying to give him different looks because you can really throw the whole kitchen at him and he'll be prepared for pretty much anything. So you just gotta trust your eyes and kind of just plaster, what we call it like a plaster, but just stay as close to the receiver as possible, trying to eliminate any throwing windows. But with a quarterback like that, he'll find a way. So you just gotta make sure to minimize the gains and try to get the ball out whenever you can.
Yeah.
And try to get them down.
Now, you guys, the Vegas Vipers are coached by Hall of Famer Rod Woodson. How has that been, or how has that experience been being coached by someone of that notoriety or that high level of play?
It's awesome, being a defensive guy, uh, just being able to pick his brain, just to see how he operates, just to see his thought process about the approach to the game of football, and just honestly to the game of life, has been nothing short of amazing. Being able to have a resource like that, and also the other coaches on our staff, we have upwards of 270 years of coaching and playing experience on our staff. So, just having a tool like that, being a defensive player, it's been awesome because there's no question that they haven't either asked themselves or they've been in a situation that the question is around. So like I get my question answered all the time, and then I'm just able to get a wealth of knowledge from these coaches. So it's been awesome just being like saying like my coach is a Hall of Famer. He has a bust in Canton, Ohio, a golden
Yeah.
jacket. Like that's the top of the top. That's the goal for everybody.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because like now you set the standard high, and myself and I could probably say this for the rest of the defense. We want to be able to match that standard. How we do things on and off the field. So it's been awesome. You set a great example, and it's been amazing.
Now that you speak of that defense has got some ballers on it, including yourself. You got
Ooh.
I think I looked at the roster. Vic Beasley's there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that linebacking
Yeah.
core is monstrous, and I know
Yeah.
Filthy.
Arlington's gonna be looking at that tape, and they're like, whoever their quarterback's gonna be like, man, I need some ice after this game. I'm gonna need some ice.
Man, you're absolutely right. This defense, like one of the best defenses I've ever been a part of. Just from the knowledge of the game, just the pure athleticism. Man, you talk about being those guys. You got nothing but those guys on that side of the ball. So it's playing fast, playing dangerous, playing smart. It's gonna be fun playing with these guys for sure.
Now, I believe I'm correct here, but the Arlington Renegades, their head coach is Bob Stoops, correct?
Yes, I believe you're correct. Yeah.
So I'm watching this game on February 18th because I believe it's on ABC. I will be tuning in. As you can see by the hat, I'm a Oklahoma Sooners fan, so
Yeah.
always rooting for Bob Stoops. But I think this will be the first time in a long time, if not ever, I'm going to go ahead and root against Bob Stoops and anything he has going on. And I hope Bob Stoops takes a massive loss this game. Hurts to say, but I have to go against it. I got to go with the Vipers on that game. And I hope you guys absolutely tear up their offense and absolutely dismantle that playbook.
Ooh, we appreciate it. We definitely had the same goal in mind. The way we were, we're just preparing and our mindset going into this game. I got a really good feeling about it. If we play the way we play, it's gonna be a great outcome for us at the end of the game.
Now,
you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Brandon. No, you go ahead.
Say, with your first game coming up with the XFL on February 18th, are there any nerves, jitters, or are you just ready to get out there and hit?
Definitely nerves. You always got those nerves, first initial game, but just with the confidence that the coaching staff has in us and the confidence we have in them, those nerves are kind of, null and void at this point because, when you're overly prepared and you're just ready to go, those nerves kind of just turn to, bubbles of confidence. So, well, I'm excited. I'm ready to get out there, ready to touch that turf in Choctaw Stadium come February 18th and just, have that viper on my chest and wearing that XFL logo. It's gonna be man all day.
You're gonna sink that venom in them,
Absolutely, that's the goal. Every play. So I'm definitely excited and really looking forward to playing football again. Just being out there with the fellas.
Now, so we know that the NFL has so many restrictions on how hard you can hit, when you can hit a player, all these standards that are set. Are you guys a little more open to how physical you can be on the field with the XFL?
Interesting, because we just had probably like a rule briefing not too long ago, probably like week 3, week 2 of camp, kind of going over those rules. There's similar rules, because being that player safety is so important in today's game. So obviously things like hitting above the neck, helmet to helmet contact, leading with the crown, things like that are going to be strictly enforced. But one thing I see the XFL doing is wanting to keep the excitement in football. And those, come to the territory. Big hits are a thing in the game, and we all know that's a part of it. So I don't feel like we'll have as heavy restrictions, but I don't think they're gonna cross that line, putting players in danger. So we're being taught how to tackle the right way, how to play the game physical but controlled. So definitely gonna be able to have some exciting things going on the field. But yeah, man. Lay into a guy if you need to,
Yeah. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about the XFL. So I know the XFL was going a few years ago before COVID happened, and the hits that we were seeing were exciting. It was fun to watch. It was like, when's the next game? I got to get this game on. There was no flag for a clean hit or anything like that. They're letting them play football, but it was safe yet exciting football. And I think that's one of the most interesting drawing things about the XFL for me personally, is that you guys are able to go out there, be physical and entertaining and exciting, and you're not held to hey, back off now, don't hit too hard.
You're allowed to play
like
defense.
That. So,
you're actually
you're allowed to
be
defensive players.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the goal, and they kind of coined it being a fast, up-tempo game, but fan first. So that excitement is something that we want to make sure that we have on the field. So like you said, that was a great point. Being those hard hits are going to be a part of the game, but clean, legal hits, tackling the right way. So definitely going to be some excitement and some fireworks for sure. Absolutely.
Definitely can't wait.
Yeah. Now, again, The Rock is your owner / I believe commish. Have you got to meet the guy? I mean, for a lot of people, that's childhood dream right there.
Yeah. So we just had a town hall event not too long ago. I would say last week. Him and Miss Garcia, Danny Garcia, the chairwoman, she was there as well. So yeah, he was there. Man, he's huge. Yeah.
It's not all camera.
Yeah.
No, not at all. That's 100%. He's huge. And I actually had the opportunity to meet him at one of the XFL before the season. They were doing like showcases and like camps and things. So I went to one of the showcases and I met him in a showcase and like standing face to face for to turn him. But that was a dream come true because man, seeing him in WrestleMania, WWE, all the movies and Jumanji, Black Adam, I'm like, oh man, I get to really see this guy. This guy's like my boss. So, it was crazy. Yeah, that's no camera effects. That's 100% real. He's gigantic.
Yeah, I think you have the coolest boss. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
Also, the only boss that could beat you up if you don't pay your fines.
Everything's getting paid straight up.
Absolutely.
Oh man. Someone asked, are any rules different? I know they say in Canadian football, the wide receiver can get a running start. So is there any rules that differ in the XFL from say the NFL?
I would say Well, the one rule, people watch the previous XFL, the kickoffs are a lot different. So like we have like we start 5 yards from each other, roughly on like the 35, 40. So that's a big difference. They did that to, you know, the high speed collisions and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So to kind of minimize that, and also another thing that's going to be, put into play is like, there's not going to be a lot of fair catches and kicks out of bounds and things like that. They really want to make sure that we can get a return, keep the game flow going, just things like that. And the other big difference is in the XFL, there's only 1 foot, like for a catch. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to have 1 foot in bounds, not two like the NFL. So it's kind of
I
keep the
like that.
games exciting and
Yeah.
things like that. And there's a plethora of other rules that are all in being enforced to make sure the flow of the game, like there's a 35-minute clock and it's running like for the play clock. So there's not a lot of time to stall and things like that. You really gotta
Yeah.
get out there and get the game rolling. Trying to encourage a good pace of play and things like that. So it's definitely like first game kickoff. You'll see like, oh wow, this is different, but it's different for the right reasons. So nothing
Yeah.
to
No,
take away from it.
I think that sounds great. I mean, the pace of the game has definitely slowed down a little bit. It's not as fast paced as I would say like 5 years ago, in my opinion. So
Hmm.
I love fast paced, hard hitting football. So I think that those rules, the rule changes that you just stated there, I think that's going to help out tremendously and actually bring back that aspect of fast, active football.
Absolutely. Oh, one really interesting rule that I just found out not too long ago was there's gonna be a double pass and it'll be a double forward pass, like behind the line of scrimmage. So like normally you'll have to throw it behind you,
Mm-hmm.
and then in order for it to be another pass. So I might, don't quote me on it, but there's a rule about double forward pass.
All right,
So
you guys heard it
I,
first from Wesley. There's a quote him on it.
yeah, so I heard that and I was like, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
you don't
That's
really see that
interesting.
in football, so that's definitely going to be something to keep your eye out for.
Was there an adjustments period when you were first getting to know? Because obviously you played in college, you kind of played the more traditional football kind of rules. Was there an adjustments period going from college and regular football that you knew and loved growing up to kind of the new added rules to the XFL?
Not really. The because the essence and the core of football doesn't really change. Uh, but for me, this is my first time being a true professional
Mm.
in the sport of football because I relatively just left college, so that was I would say the adjustment period, just being a professional. Not really too much of an adjustment period, but just knowing like now it's like this is you got to P's and Q's, X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z. You got to cross your T's and dot your I's, and that's been honestly fun for me. But it wasn't no real adjustment. You learn the rules and they are what they are, so you just follow them. But the football doesn't change at all. Like, and I've seen that football since I was younger till now. The core of it, the essence of football, the game's the same.
Chat saying congratulations on making it to the XFL and being a professional football player.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it.
I also have somebody saying they're going to be quitting their day job and apply to be a water boy for the Vipers. So,
Hey, hey, I honestly say we have some of the greatest vibes. So, hey, if there's a job available, I say
yeah.
take it.
Hey,
I
I'll
mean,
be
I could
like,
already tell just from talking to you. I mean, I can only imagine like the entire team, how you guys are interacting. Just the vibes that you're putting off right now. You're very personable, entertaining, exciting to talk to. So I can only imagine what an entire locker room of guys like you would be like. I mean,
Awesome.
me personally, if I'm on the offense going up against you guys, I'm riding the bench, taking the day off. I'm sick. I'm out. Coach, don't put me in today. I'm done.
Nah, man, it's awesome. Like really a family. Like, and we gel real quick. All the guys are amazing. From the front end to the back end, it's a great group of guys, and the coaching staff really just enhances that family environment. Like the brotherhood is strong. So man, it's a great vibe, great energy, positive energy, and we just really play for each other. And yeah, man, I love it. And it will be on ABC February 18th, and hopefully the
Yes,
world
sir.
will love it, man. Hopefully
there
the
we
world will
go.
love it.
Now,
Oh, I promise you they will.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
is there any So obviously we're still gonna talk about football, but we talked a lot about football. Is there anything like you just got done with practice, whatever, watching film and coming home? What's your like go-to show to watch? Like, are you watching Netflix? What on Netflix per se, or what's that thing? I just want to relax and put on some TV. What are you watching? If you watch TV.
Yeah, nah, definitely. You gotta disconnect sometimes. So like literally today, boom, got out of meetings, got out of practice, got on Netflix, and I turned on Fairly Godparents for some reason, and I just been rocking with that.
No.
It's just. I don't know why, but it gets me every time. It's just the comedy. I don't know.
Nostalgia.
So I just been watching that, and it's a lot of good shows, like on Netflix. So I just kind of, when I have the time, just whatever pops on my recommended, I'm just like, hey, let's give this a go. So yeah. But
do you play video games?
Yeah. So man, one thing about these guys, they big video game guys. So we get into it on the Madden. Some FIFA action, but so I try to dabble in the video games. Gotta keep up, my skills up because these guys, they're no joke.
So that brings my next question. You said Madden. Who's the best Madden player on the Vipers?
Oh man, I don't know. Like it's some good games that go on, but just me being me, I'm just say me. I'm a bet on myself.
I love it. I love it.
Man, I am terrible at Madden. I'm just going to go out and say that I cannot play that game. I feel like I can. I am confident going in, turning the game on and going on and playing, but I get smoked every single time I play that game. I know Keith Thomas, he's in chat. He's actually, from what I've seen, he is insanely good at Madden. He does his streams on there and stuff. But I can't do it. I don't know why.
They say you know how good a person is at Madden on who they select on defense. If you play defensive line, they're trash. If they play linebacker or a corner or safety, they got some skills. And guess what? Yep. I find myself picking defensive end every time.
Yeah, I'm big on the linebackers. Linebackers is where I end up.
There's tears to this. B is good on Madden on Oculus. I am not. So I don't know. Have you played the NFL? Do you have Oculus?
Nah, but I've heard about it and I saw like some clips on like YouTube. It looks insane.
I throw so many picks. Like, not even funny. But
dude, the release time is so weird on it. Like, sometimes it's perfectly fine, but sometimes you'll just launch a ball down deep into the corner and it's picked off. So I'm right there with you. I throw so many interceptions.
Yeah, especially because
I gotta try that.
You definitely gotta try it. You get so submerged into it because it's VR and whatnot. And as you can tell, I'm an Eagles fan, and Jason Kelsey's like 6'1", like 6 foot. I'm 5'11", 6 foot. So when I put on the Oculus and I got like Jason Kelsey looking like he's like 8 feet tall, and I'm like, yo, what?
Oh man.
I'll be yelling at the players too. I'll be like, yo, you gotta catch that.
I yell at them too when I'm on there.
So like with the headsets, like do y'all like run into stuff? Like get really excited and like bump into a chair or
I do, but there is a boundary. Like you set your boundary and it lets you know if you're out of your boundary or not.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
okay.
So even though you set a boundary depending on what room you're in or area, just be mindful of ceiling fans. I'm not gonna lie. I had an open receiver and I launched that thing and smacked the ceiling fan. My hand was hurting for a good 2 weeks after that, but he caught it. We got the 6, so I wasn't upset about it. But make sure you watch out about the stuff that's around you when using that Oculus for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're gonna end up on the injury report. He's like, West Bowers, how did he hurt his hand? He's playing Oculus, playing NFL program.
Oh my goodness. Something else.
It's fun, but I mean, you get immersed into it. I mean, it's crazy how, like, when you first put it on, you're like, man, I'm not gonna get immersed into this. It's fake. Mm-hmm. It's very cartoonish. Like with every app, everything's kind of like, like this isn't real, but you're on there for 5 minutes and you're gone.
You hear the
especially
crowd,
with that.
hear the crowd cheering behind you and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they boo you too. So I heard that a lot.
And you got the coach running plays into your headset, and you're just sitting here like, okay, all right, okay, I'm trying to. I guess we'll pick this one. I want to run an audible, but we got like 2 seconds left on the clock now, so you definitely get immersed into it. It's wild how they do it. But if you ever get a chance, definitely get it and give it a try. It's fun.
Now,
Definitely
I guess
will.
Definitely. That kind of brings into my next question, because you brought up the plays, Taylor, to where they can be kind of complex hearing through the headset. You're like, how the heck do people remember this? Are the plays? I know college is have some complexity to it. I know there's a difference between high school and college, and then obviously at the professional level. Was it an adjustment learning maybe some new verbiage that the coaches use? Maybe it's slightly different than what you learned in college. Are the play calls longer, or is it just kind of the same?
I would definitely say I was very fortunate to get the very complicated playbook at a young age. So like my high school and my college playbook were something else, like long plays and all those things. So the transition wasn't crazy, but oddly enough, the plays are very simple. Like they're not hard at all, because when you're playing football, especially when you're playing defense, you want your players to be able to react, fast as possible, play fast as possible without thinking as much. So like we'll get a call in the headset, and then it literally just quick, because you don't want to have too much of a lengthy call. That's more of an offense thing, because they got to tell all the receivers what they're doing and all that stuff. But defense, we're like kind of on the reaction side of things, react to the offense. So we want to get our play in. We want to maybe get some checks in, and then after that, we just play with our rules and everything that our coaches has taught us from camp throughout the week and things like that. And we just rock and roll. It's not really too complicated, because if it was complicated, it will put us in a bind. We're thinking too much or things like that. So it's not complicated at all. But it's definitely interesting. Having a headset, because I didn't have a headset in college and things like that. So getting a call from the coaches, just talking to a mic and things like that, is really cool. But yeah, it's not.
Now, do you guys have a cutoff point for your mics, like on the play clock? Do you guys have a cutoff point to where you can stop hearing them?
Well, right now, we got like practice mics in, so it's just like a button that they hold, like a walkie-talkie. So from what I've heard, from guys that play in the league, sometimes the coach might just accidentally hold on to that button on like the whole play, so you're just hearing them constantly talking the whole play. So, but you probably, because you want to get the call out as fast as possible. So like probably 5 seconds into the play clock, like we will get that call. You want to be able to tell the team to call and then set up. So yeah, it's like we don't try to wait too long. We want to be able to get it out as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think the NFL they cut the mics at 15 seconds, I believe. Correct, Brandon?
Yeah, around 15 seconds. For
so
offense, I don't know about defense, but
yeah, I'm not sure about defense either. But I know on offense, it's about once it hits 15 to 10 seconds, it's completely cut. And I know they've got some long plays, so if you don't get that full play out, I hope you're good at guessing.
Yeah,
start drawing it up.
Yeah, let me piece together this puzzle.
Yeah, but luckily, like the way plays are set up, you can kind of somewhat piece and plug. Just like say if the coach might have missed something, like you could plug like maybe like this front with this coverage, just based off the tendencies and really knowing your coach and just knowing the situation on the field. So I feel like it's kind of the same with offense. Like quarterback kind of has free range somewhat to make audibles and things like that if need be. Kind of like the same on defense. If we need to make a check, make an audible, give him, got to get the coach permission first though. But yeah, so it's kind of, I think it'll be the same.
Now, are you calling the plays on defense? Are you gonna be the one calling the plays? You got the headset in your helmet, or is it just headset in every helmet?
Yeah, so it's one of the linebackers. So honestly, just really depends on who's rocking out. One of the inside linebackers. Sometimes I might have it, or my fellow teammate might have it, things like that. But we're gonna all get the call. We'll do like a small little huddle. Everyone get the call. We echo the call out, and then boom, we out there playing, having fun.
There we
go. Now, do you have a good relationship with your quarterback on the Vipers? I know a lot of defensive players don't jive too well with the offense. I mean, complete opposites. But do you have a good relationship with Hundley?
Yeah, Huntley. Well, he's fairly new. I would say he just kind of came on, but open arms regardless. We got Huntley, J Mac, and Luis. That's the quarterback room right now. Great groups of guys. Definitely push us. So definitely, I would say I have a good relationship with them. Not like tight like I probably would on the defense,
Mm-hmm.
but still same part of the same family. So we got a good talking relationship, and like those guys, we do like Bible study and things like that. So I get a chance to meet with them there. So definitely, I would say I have a good relationship with them. I try to really extend myself to the offensive side of the ball as much as I can. Got a good relationship with a lot of those guys over there, especially the O line, because we always, I get into it a lot with those guys. Those are my guys, they're always trying to block me and things like that. And I'm like, all right, now you're on the same team. So, yeah, the offense, I got some good guys over there. Those are all my guys.
Now, it's me a random question just to keep it light. Try to chop it up. Who on the team would you say is the worst cook? Like if they're like, hey, come over to my house, I'm gonna cook. You're like, they want to pick up some McDonald's or something or some tofu on the way there, because I know you can't throw it down.
Oh man, I don't. That's a good question. If I had to say the worst cook,
Making this man put somebody on his team under the bus.
I don't know. I'll probably have to go with my guy, Rob Windsor. That's my guy, But I don't know. He doesn't give me, chef vibes for some reason. He doesn't big guy. I know he can eat. One of my D linemen. I don't know if he can cook.
He can eat, but can he cook?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I see some
like as a big guy, I'm going to speak for all big guys out there. We can cook. Yeah, we got this size. Not just by going out and eating, but sometimes we had to stay home and whip something up, and we learn how to cook. We know how to whip it up in the kitchen.
You might be able to, hey Rob, if you see this, you're my guy. I don't know if you might make a mean peanut butter jelly or something, but I don't know.
PB&J. Woo.
Yeah, but that was a good question. But on the flip side of that, I would say the best cook probably in my linebacker room, DJ. I know, because I've seen some of his work. I'm like, yeah, if I wasn't vegan, but trust me.
So DJ's throwing it down, man.
Man, what? I've seen his work. DJ could cook. He has a great taste in food, and yeah, Buddy could throw down in the kitchen. Shout out DJ.
All right. Now, Brandon, are you fine with moving into the Super Bowl?
I am
predictions
fine.
Here. I'm interested to hear what our special guest here has to say and who he thinks is going to be taking home the trophy this year. You got the Eagles, or do you got the Chiefs? And don't mind his hat over there.
Don't mind my hat.
Yeah, don't mind that hat. You know.
Man,
honest answers here.
So my honest opinion, I'm going with the Eagles, and the reason being, I feel like offense to offense, it's going to be a great matchup, right? But it's the Eagles has a phenomenal defense, and the Chiefs defense has been showing up as of late, but I don't think they faced a Eagles offense yet. Like it's going to be a great matchup. I've really been keen on the Chief D line versus the Eagles O line, and man, Eagles got some vets up there. The Chiefs D line is solid up front, but the versatility that they got a lot of speed at the receivers position. Miles Sanders has been balling on a different level, and Jalen Hurts has been leading out of this world. But I just really it's on the fence because I can't really count out Mahomes because Mahomes is Mahomes.
Yeah. Mahomes is Mahomes.
And, Mahomes is Mahomes. It's and he's a winner. He finds ways to win, but it's really gonna be on the shoulders of the defense. I don't foresee a shootout being a good thing for the Chiefs. Just given the offensive powers that both teams possess, but Eagles has a good defense all around, every phase of the game. I like the Eagles, but it's gonna be one of the best Super Bowls in a while. I would say.
I would agree, and I know Brandon is extremely excited. You said that. I know he's holding back a little bit, but he's.
What are you talking about? I'm not biased. I'm not biased. I got my hair. Look, my hair's all messed up. Hat hair. I'm not biased.
Yeah,
bro.
I know he's hype. You said that.
Yeah, I'm not
Gotta fly, Eagles fly, huh?
Hey, I might be a Vipers fan because the Vipers got a little theme song and Philly's got a theme song, so
Right.
might be a theme song kind of guy.
I think the Vipers theme song was a little bit better than the Eagles though.
Well, you got the
Yeah,
I'm rocking with the Vipers on that one, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Fly Eagles Fly is cool and all, but it's just not it.
Yeah, man. Something about the Vipers, man.
I got the Eagles also. Like you said, I think their defense, it's just, I mean, the entire year they've just been playing some insane football, and plus they've had the whole year playing at that level. The Chiefs really didn't find their edge on defense until recently, like you said. So I think that's going to be the biggest advantage for the Eagles. And having Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to be healthy in the Super Bowl because he wasn't healthy this past game against the 49ers. His shoulder was still hurting him, but having a healthy Jalen Hurts, a healthy, phenomenal defense, I think the Eagles are going to take this one. And I think it's going to be, like you said, one of the more exciting Super Bowls that we've had in a while. I know last year, I'm a Rams fan, so, I'll be the first to say that it wasn't the most exciting Super Bowl last year, but it was for me. But for most people, I know it wasn't the most exciting, but I think this year's is going to be like one to remember for sure.
Indeed.
Did you have or do you have an NFL team that you kind of root for, or like who's that team growing up?
Yeah, Rams.
It's tough, but I gotta go with my guys. I'm a Commanders fan, through and through. We just got our mascot, like Major Beef Links or something. I don't know, Major Porky. It's Major Tutty. I think that's what his name is. Major Tutty. So it's hard. It's hard to understand, but I've been there through all the name changes and all of those. So I'm gonna go rock with the Commanders till the end, I suppose. So yeah.
I mean, they're looking at a new ownership, I believe, here in the near future. I think that's going to be changing hands. So hopefully that brings some new energy to the team. The Commanders, they need a new stadium.
Yes.
I think it was it last season where the Eagles were like fans were just trying to say, "Hey, Jalen, what's up?" And then Jalen ends up having like 20 different fans falling on him. I mean, they need a new stadium. I'm not a fan of the name. No. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of the new name. The mascot. That might be the worst one that I've seen.
The jerseys are fire, though. I will say the black jerseys, especially, those are fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely fire.
Yeah. Major Teddy is not it.
Yeah, we can't skip past that mascot, man. I don't know who came up with that in the drawing board, but
Dan Snyder.
That needed. Yeah, he's the only one in there. Yeah, but man, that's definitely a tough team to root for. So.
Now, as a Commanders fan, is it painful to see your rival Eagles in the Super Bowl?
No. I'm happy. I'm happy for the Eagles. I got a lot of Eagle fans. Some friends. So, but I wish it was us. That'd have been cool. But I guess we'll get our turn. Someday. I don't know when. I don't know where, but someday, hopefully, we'll be Commanders in the Super Bowl.
And who knows? Maybe you get called up from the XFL to to the Commanders, and maybe you're on that team leading them back to the bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
Hometown hero.
There you go.
I mean, somebody's writing the script over there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. NFL is not scripted or anything.
Wow. The amount of scripts jokes I've been getting, I'm like, people ask me, did you get your script for this season? I'm like, oh man. Hey, I don't need any printed paper. Don't send me no emails. I don't want no script.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine as a competitor, like, if they actually try to hand you a script saying, hey, you're going to lose this week. I'm like, no. What? No.
No. Balling that script up, throw it in the trash.
Someone said, Wes, describe one of your most memorable plays of your career.
One of my most memorable plays of my career. Ooh. I would probably say my first collegiate interception at Georgetown. It was versus Marist up in New York, and I say it's memorable because it's like my coach told me it was gonna happen like that same play. So it's something I always remember, and this is why I tell all the young guys, you listen to your coaches because they're gonna set you up for success. And it was my first pick. It could have been a pick six, but it's something like it was a block in the back. It was great. I read the quarterback. I dropped, and then like I probably dropped like 20, 30 yards to the sideline, going side to side, and I just picked it off. And then like how like in Madden when you catch a pick, he just freezes and then you start to run. I had one of those moments like I just caught this ball. And it was like right on our sideline, and I froze for a little bit, and then like you just see me like glitch, and I start running, and so that was a great play in my first collegiate interception, and I was like, man, I could catch now. So yeah.
Now, were you able to keep that ball? Were you able to keep that ball and kind of?
Yeah, so like I kind of like threw it, like because the refs want to get the ball back. So as soon as I got to the end zone, I just kind of threw it to my sideline real quick and just had to get a new ball. So I didn't know where it was after that, but I attempted to keep it. So
it's the attempt that counts.
Right. So yeah, that was.
Someone asked, cool. What is something that you're most proud of? What would you say is your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement, I would probably say graduating college. So I graduated from Georgetown University. I did it in about 3.5 years. So I was quite proud of that. Georgetown's a tough school.
Yeah, Georgetown's no joke. Like
yeah, so I was like balancing football and class and things like that. And then, like my major was interesting. I did justice and peace studies, like a pre-law track, and I majored in government. So it was a lot of reading, a lot of writing on top of trying to be a top athlete on the field and things like that. So it was a nice little juggling act. But I graduated with honors, and I got out of there faster than I thought I would. And that was my motivation, was because I wasn't really big on school. So if I could find a way to get out of school as fast as possible, I was gonna do it. So yeah, I did. I got out of there faster than I thought I would, and that was probably my biggest achievement, honestly.
That's awesome, especially being an athlete and graduating with honors and everything like that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's definitely a big time. Yeah, I know. Georgetown is one of like the schools when you think of education and stuff like that. We like to joke around when we bring this up is Texas, because he's an Oklahoma fan. Texas had put out like that graphic a couple years ago saying our team's highest GPA ever as a collective was a 2.7 or something like that. And it was like, I don't know if you want to put that.
I think it was lower too.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't know if you want to put that graphic out there. So
yeah, no, that's not it. Like we had to have we had to have a higher GPA just to be able to play. Like we did the study hall, and academics was really big. For at Georgetown, so we really took advantage of that, and it honestly, put us in a great position after college. So, all those kids out there, eat your vegetables and do your homework.
And your tofu.
So, yeah,
eat your tofu.
And tofu. And tofu.
And your tofu. So yeah, it's definitely, that the whole, student athlete thing was real. So it definitely put me in a great position now. So I can't complain at all.
So we have another question here. Somebody says, uh, once your football career is over, hopefully it's a long
Way,
time
way,
down
way
the
out.
road. But do
Absolutely.
you have any plans that you have like planned out for after football that you're already kind of thinking about?
Yeah. So like when I wasn't when I wasn't, actually playing football, I was actually doing like some flag football coaching, with an organization called Flag Star, ran by a guy that I met, my man Carl. I met him when I was at Georgetown. He went to Harvard. Kind of just started this youth flag football league, for kids that, might not have had all the tangibles of being, super competitive and things like that, but still wanted to be active with the sport. So just doing that, giving back to my community. I have a couple of nonprofit organizations that I've started up, and hopefully through my professional transition and things like that, I make the necessary connections to really get things rolling. Create the platform that I can touch a lot of people's lives and inspire the next generation. So like my my organization is called, well, I have two. So one is called New Wave. I started that probably like 2018, just as an effort to get kids out of the house, because like growing up, I was always out of the house playing sports, with the kids
Yep.
in the neighborhood and things like that. But as I got older, I saw kids just, getting glued to the television and to their phones and things like that. And I
Mm.
wanted to really help kids still learn how to socialize and, how to be people's people, like a people person, I guess.
Yeah.
And really, because I feel like at the young ages, that's critical. And when they're not in school, they're just at home playing their games and things like that. So just give them an outlet to just to be a kid, detach
Yeah.
from the social media world. Just take a step back and just breathe in some reality of what it is to be a kid. Do things in the summer, some tutoring, football camps, dance camps, skateboard camps, anything that they really want to do, just to get outside, get active, get some sunlight, and just be a kid. Run around, get some bumps and bruises, get back up, and you know, live life.
Yeah.
And the other one is Westco Inc. Me and my mom started that one, just to teach, about financial literacy and things of that nature to, you know, underserved communities and things like that. So that was pretty cool. And then another one called Pain and a Purpose, ran by a wonderful woman, Rashima Melson. So that's something that I hope to actually get involved in. She's doing amazing work, touching a lot of lives of the underserved communities, people impoverished communities and things like that. Really just setting the bar and giving back to the community, doing exactly what I want to do. So those are some things that when I'm all said and done, get my golden jacket, you know, and
Yep.
and all those stuff. And I'm definitely want to get into that.
Like to hear that. Make sure you get us those links
Yeah.
too if they have links, and we'll make
Oh,
sure to share
absolutely.
that and get it out as much as possibly can. I'll share it on my Facebook and anywhere I possibly can myself. So
Indeed, thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you.
no problem. And I
And
like I
yeah,
like
that was
your
probably like the best answer
yeah.
for what do you want to do after football. Like that was the
Is this scripted?
best hands down. Yeah. Best hands down.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said with the getting the kids outside too. That's a really big one. I know, like, someone for our age, growing up, it was you're outside until the street light comes on, and then you're home.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're active and stuff like that. And like you said, to now, kids are like, "Where's my tablet? Where's my, where's
Hmm.
this? Where's my video games?" and stuff like that. And like, the socializing really isn't there. And then just being active is obviously very important for our youth's health
Hmm.
and for their future as well. So that is big time. Growing up, I did play 60 with the
Hmm.
NFL. My dad was in the Marine Corps, and they came to like base and stuff like that. And I got me to Deshaun Jackson and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But like you said, you're saying that being active as a kid is super important. Not only for your
Yeah, I
physical health,
remember.
but your mental health as well.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, I remember hanging out by the those giant big green electrical boxes that they have out in the neighborhoods. Like that
Yeah.
was the meetup spot. Like everybody knew which one to hit up
Yeah.
at what time. Like that was peak childhood right there. It was like, all right, at like 5 o'clock, everybody meet up at the electrical box.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But you don't see that
So,
anymore, Like there's
You
not.
gotta-
I've
You
yet
had
to
a
see
set
an
time.
electrical box with a group of people. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's set time. I just walk outside and go, where are all the bikes at? If I saw where all the bikes are
Right.
at, and that's where people are at.
Yeah. Like
Absolutely.
it wasn't like you just knew like around like 5 o'clock, the group's gonna be there. You show up and it's just gonna be a good time. You guys are gonna be like riding bikes, playing tag, basketball,
Get the
football.
lightsabers
It's
out.
gonna be
and beating
something.
each other
Yeah.
at the park with the lightsabers.
Yeah.
But everything, anything you could think of,
Yeah.
doing it. And I just want to, give that to kids, because I feel like, just we're in such a busy society. Sometimes parents might be too busy, and then just all this running around trying to make things, happen, and it's just, sometimes the kids get lost. So just want to make sure kids still can be kids, no responsibilities, no homework, just having fun, learning how to talk to people. And I feel like that small effort will definitely enhance the society, because
Oh, absolutely.
Social media,
And it's
crazy.
It's extremely admirable too that you're taking that on, because a lot of people want to force and push everybody into a age of nothing but technology. Like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. There's a new app that comes out every single day. There's almost nobody pushing for kids to go outside and play. Nobody pushing for kids to stay active, go outside, you know, get a bike, go ride your bike, go play football, go play soccer, go meet up at the park, because there's parks with basketball goals, soccer goals, football fields, and everything that are accessible. But if you go out there, there's nobody there because everybody's at home on TikTok. So that's great that there's somebody out there that's pushing for that to come back and give children the childhood that they should have, rather than it being on a tablet scrolling through TikTok, seeing other people, live a life that they think they should live. Create your own life as a child outside, interact with the people you want to interact with rather than who you think you should based off of the internet. So
Absolutely.
I admire that.
Thank you.
Definitely create your own life as a kid, because that imagination is wild. Like I said, I remember going outside and with my boy Jarvis and stuff like that, and we had our lightsabers or whatever, and Carlos and stuff, and we would pretend like we were. And I'm gonna sound like a total dweeb here. I don't care, but we would sound.
You already crossed that.
Yeah, we would pretend that we were like in the Sith and stuff, and we would like create different factions, and we sitting out at the park like trying to force choke each other, and we'd be like,
yeah,
just having fun. But
man, that's what it's about.
Yeah, like you said, it's not only that, you're building memories with your friends that maybe you don't have. Like nowadays, I see kids on TikTok and they're like, I just see the 360 no scope on Call of Duty, and it's like dude, no, cool, bro, like,
right,
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And these like the friends that I hung out with, at a young age, like I got Derek, Darius, Joey P. Kids, they're like, I still talk to them till this day, and it's like, man, we always just go back down memory lane. Like, you remember when I pushed you down that hill and you fell for like 5 minutes, and it was, man, just stuff like that. Like it just like, all the fights and everything, just all the fights, the fun times, the snowball fights, everything, just just that happened in childhood. It just was like, man, that's so fun. And it's like now, something you hope for your kids. Like, I hope I can have that for my children when I have kids and things like that. So it's like, it's
sure.
fun.
I mean, now that we're talking about it, I've got memories running through my mind of like, neighborhood football games, building igloos when we lived up in New York. Let me rephrase that. Our attempt to build an igloo outside with all the neighborhood kids when it snowed pretty heavily, and it just kept collapsing, and then it turned into snowball fights, and then like a snow football game. I mean, kids nowadays, they don't have that, like in 10 years, their memories are going to be like, yeah, I remember when I got the iPhone 21 and it had this gadget on there and stuff like that. I don't have a like memory that involved me getting some type of technology. So I'm glad about
big
that.
on Pokemon growing up though. I did play on the little not the game.
I mean, I
Game Boy
I definitely
Advance and
played
stuff like that, but
I definitely played video games, but it wasn't like the largest aspect of my life like it is now. So
absolutely.
Yeah, my man, you speaking on that, just so many memories.
Right?
Yeah, like I mean,
Crazy.
the stuff that we take for granted now as adults, because you know, my wife kind of makes fun of me from time to time. She calls me a big kid, and I think that's important for even adults. Like to go out and take a step back and then just enjoy life. Be a kid again. Reach that imagination. Go out and snowball fight. Go out and do this stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, me and my friend Carlos, we talk all the time, and one of our biggest memories was one. There's like kind of two key memories. One was with the Nerf gun, and he was running across like a little. I grew up in California, he running across like a little hill in the park, and I shot my little Nerf gun, and the bullet curved around the hill like that. What was that movie where the bullets curve or whatever? I can't remember.
Wanted.
Yeah, Wanted.
Yeah.
And it hit him right in the eye, and he goes, "How the heck did you?" He was running away. He was like, "How the heck did you hit me in the eye?"
Right.
Yeah, and then the other one was his mom spent $120 on a I don't know if you remember Beyblades, solid gold Beyblade.
Yep.
And this is back in the day, guys, when the Beyblades actually could cut your hand with how sharp they are.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's kind of like plastic and cheap. I had made mine from Walmart parts, like just 6 or 7 different Beyblades, and he was like, I broke everybody in the neighborhood's Beyblade with mine. And he goes, "You're not breaking mine. Mine's $120. It's gold plated, everything like that." He got it for his birthday, and then we were like, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. And we just went, and all of a sudden, the moment mine hit his flew out of the arena, hit the wall, cracked in half, and all I hear is his mom going, "Carlito, I just bought that."
Man, it doesn't get no better than that though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Good memory for Brandon, bad memory for Carlos.
absolutely.
But still a memory nonetheless, man. So that is awesome. That's extremely admirable of you to take a step into that, because not a lot of people want to do stuff like that. They want to focus on what's now, like what's cool now, and what's cool now is technology. So you're stepping out of the bounds, and I think that's absolutely awesome.
And then you brought up the financial literacy aspect, and that's a big thing too. I don't think a lot of people ever want to talk about. Like, I remember growing up in school and stuff, I didn't really have financial literacy. It's something that you just my parents kind of talked to me.
As you go on.
Yeah, they kind of talked to me here or there about it, but I didn't really have anybody or anything to kind of step into to kind of see how to be financially literate. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm still learning how to do that. I'm decent with money, but I'm not great with money. And so that's something big. I believe that's you and your mom that you're trying to do that.
Me and my mom.
So that's definitely big. Speaking of your mother, how big of an inspiration is she to you? Because I know for me, my mother is a big inspiration for me.
My mom is one of the biggest. Single mom, so it wasn't an easy job, but she like never sweated. Anything I needed, I always got. I never asked for much, never needed anything, because she did such a great job. And my grandparents were always there. My grandfather, my grandmother. So I had a real tight knit community of like my nucleus family. And my mom, her big saying that she always says, it takes a village to raise a child. So she put a lot of key people in my life. Not having the father figure that I needed, but that I guess I would say wanted, because she put the people in my life that I needed to help mold me into the man I am today. So like, big inspiration. She fought through. She had cancer. She beat cancer. So like,
that's what we like to hear.
Soldier,
that's what we like to hear.
Absolutely, she's a soldier. So that's why I rarely complain. I don't really complain about much, because it's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
And I just really take everything that she's done for me in my life, and just give her the ultimate praise and applause, because she's a phenomenal person. She's a great mother, and she's put me in a position to be where I am now. Just the way my upbringing allowed me to be a kid. I played every sport. Like, a lot of kids nowadays just play one sport. Like, I did every sport under the sun. I even tried swimming until funny story about the swimming.
Let's see it. We gotta hear it now.
So like, I went to my friend that I talked about earlier, Darius and Joey. They were on the swim team. And I went to a couple of their swim meets. I was like, man, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I swim for recreation, just little sharks and minnows here
Yeah.
and there. I
Yeah.
never went too far in the deep end because everybody else was swimmers around me. So I went to a practice. I think it was like early in the morning, and we had to set up the pool. So I was taking out a lane rope, one of the lane ropes. So I went probably from like 4 feet. So I was walking, I was good, and then it's just 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, and I was like, okay. So I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take the lane rope. I was struggling, so I left the lane rope. I got out the pool and I said I quit. So so that was the fastest exit. That was the only time I quit in anything. I was like, I'm not doing this. I felt like I almost drowned, and so yeah, I left. But yeah, I tried everything under the sun: golfing, lacrosse, wrestling, track, football, basketball, baseball. I did all of that, and she allowed me to do that. Put like the coaches that I was with were phenomenal coaches. Helped me to become the person I am today. A lot of lessons I learned in life came from sports, and it was just teamwork, hard, like working hard, dedicating myself to something bigger than myself. Uh, so yeah, that's my number one.
Chat is
I mean,
hyping
she
your
did.
mom
I
up
mean,
and saying that
yeah.
she did a great job. You're an amazing young man, and you obviously 100% are.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
100% agree with chat.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm
thank
getting
you.
old, man. I can actually say that now. I'm almost 30. I can say, "Yo, you're a nice young man."
Yeah,
Getting old.
yeah, I'm young. 20, well, I guess I'm young. Yeah, like guys on the
Yeah,
team,
you're
like
young.
Yeah, you're young.
23. Hey. Yeah.
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 23. I
Enjoy
wish I
it.
was 23, man. I'm getting ready to turn. So I'm almost 30. So, yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it every step of the way.
Enjoy it as long as you can, man. Because one of these days you're gonna
It
wake
goes
up.
by as fast.
Absolutely.
I forgot I was almost 30 until Brandon said something. So thanks for that, Brandon.
You're welcome, man. I gotta keep you in, your mind fresh and in check.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But any questions, chat? Before we got you for an hour. I don't want to kind of overextend it just in case you have something going on.
Yeah, I thought I was, but we switched meetings around, so that's why I said the hour first.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
yeah, any questions, man? I'm all here. This is a great show, man. This is fun.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming on. Someone said, "What goes into a credit score, if you know?"
What goes into a credit score? Oh man, getting deep into my bag. So from my understanding, I'm not the world's greatest at credit scores and things like that. My lady Rashima, she actually helping me, break that stuff down. But I know it's about like your spending habits, and basically, your ability to pay off what you put on a credit card and things like that. But like credit score in my mind is basically like a leveraging power. The higher your credit score, the more abilities that you have to be able to get like loans and things like that. Because the way I look at it is like, are you trustworthy with money? If I give you X amount of money, can I trust that you'll do the right things with it? And in my opinion, that's basically what a credit score is. You have a certain amount of like, so me with a budget, I budget and I have a certain amount that I want to spend, like put on my credit, like say like, $300 a month or like 8% of my total budget, and have the same opportunity to pay that off by the due date or earlier. Just set it automatic so you won't forget, pay it off every time. So basically the bank is like, okay, he's trustworthy, he knows how to use his money. So if he wants a loan, if he wanted a car, if he wanted to buy a house or things like that, we could trust him with it, and just use that as leveling powers. There's a lot of bonuses that come with good credit, and depending on your company, like like Capital One or things like that, they'll give you different bonuses, spending bonuses on like groceries, gas, and other commodities and things like that. So long-winded answer, but
Perfect answer.
It's a good answer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, credit scores are confusing for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people don't understand what it is and what affects it, and you broke it down perfectly.
Yeah. Someone said, "What linebacker did you pattern your game after?"
Man, this is a tough one. So I actually like assembled, in my opinion, the perfect linebacker to model my game after. I'm gonna just rip off the names that I really watch, like kind of on a daily.
Let's hear 'em.
And it was all like I got Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher, Luke Kuechly. I love the way he thinks. Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner. Fred Warner. I love Fred Warner. Devin White, just because kind of on the smaller side, speedy guy. And then kind of going back, like people like Mike Singletary, Willie Lanier, Dick Buckus, and like Jack Lambert, just those guys, like big physical, or not even big, but like physical, smart linebackers, and that really understand the game and just be like really true students of the game. That's kind of what I modeled my game after, being fast, physical, and smart. Because like especially in today's game, it's an air raid. They love to air the ball out. You probably get like 50, 40 plus throws a game. So you got to be able to cover. Got to be able to run sideline to sideline, but also be the hammer and not the nail in the run game. Be able to bang with those linemen all day. I feel like that combination of linebackers are, I would say, that would make the greatest linebacker of all time.
There's one name that I'm shocked now that you're a Commanders / formerly known as Redskins fan.
Hold on.
London Fletcher did not make the list.
No, London Fletcher is if not one. I would say he's like my top 3. London Fletcher, because him and Sam Mills. I can't forget about Sam Mills, the great, smaller guys, but heart of a giant. Kind of, just it was a lot of names, but yeah, definitely London Fletcher, Sam Mills, Mike Singletary, all those guys, small but mighty, got the job done, Hall of Fame talent, and things like that. So, for sure, can't forget about that guy.
Yeah. And as a professional, as you go into your upcoming season with the XFL and you continue to inspire children, there's going to be a lot of children who are going to be looking up to you, maybe from your hometown or that you get to talk to personally. I want to be a linebacker like my favorite linebacker, Wes Bowers. So that's definitely got to be something that you can kind of look forward to, and I don't know, put it out to put a smile on your face, but like you are someone's inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just like humbling, to say the least. It's just being able to be in that position. Like I looked up to so many people, from my hometown, just like athletes and things, and now that I could potentially be somebody else, like someone else's motivation or inspiration. Like, I want to be, like this guy. And that's why, to me, it's so important to do the right things on and off the field. Just being able to be, like an example for the younger generations. And, also, people that are older than me, because I feel like in life, you can learn from anybody, no matter how old or how young.
Absolutely.
So I feel like I want to be able to, when it's all said and done, and I can look back and hear people talk about me, I want to be like, in the conversation, like, you know what, that's a good guy right there, and things like that.
Yeah, well, just like the chat has said, I think Brandon and I agree. I mean, we are all now 100% fans of yours and are backing you in everything that you do on the field and off the field. And you have my respect, and I'm sure you have Brandon's respect,
100%.
And everybody in the chat's respect. You're an amazing guy, especially knowledgeable on stuff that maybe others aren't and should be, especially financially, stuff like that. And it's just awesome to hear that from you. So,
which is important for the financial aspect, being in Vegas.
Absolutely.
A lot of temptation there.
There's a lot of buildings to stay away from.
Yeah, indeed. Facility and back home every time.
Yep.
Someone said, who would be one player you would love to play against?
Just like in general.
Just in general.
Yep. Overall.
All right. I'm gonna do two.
Right.
Okay. So the first player, I would love to play against Tom Brady. Like if I could, I would love to play against Tom Brady, just because it's like his approach to the game, and I know that would just be like a chess match for me, and I would just love that. And the second person would be Derrick Henry, because a lot of people always ask me a lot of people always ask me like, look, if it was you and Derrick Henry, who would win that battle? And me, I'm very confident, so I'm always say me. And it's like if I get an opportunity to show it, I gotta
Yeah.
give it all I got. So
Yeah.
I gotta give it all I got. So
And
yeah,
I,
You
Derrick Henry
definitely
I
got to
would
give it
love
all
to
you
see
got.
that. Yeah.
That's a big man.
Yeah, so that would be the two people I would love to play against.
Yeah.
Good answers.
Good answer. Yeah, I remember growing up, running backs are like 5'11", 5'10", 205, and
Yeah.
now they got
Right.
King Henry who's like 6'3", 6'4", 220, and you're like,
Man,
dude, what?
yeah, huge,
Yeah.
rolling. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the game has changed exponentially, especially in the running back position, because now it's not like a shifty, fast guy. It's a huge dude you got to look up to for
Yeah.
the most part.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's overall, like I've never been like, especially like on my team, like linemen are ridiculously athletic, huge, and fast, and it's just been like, wow, it's
Yeah.
just like the game has evolved. Because normally, like back in the day, you want like big burly guys that can lift the gym and
Hmm.
the whole nine. But like now, you got old linemen running like 4'5", and like 4'8",
Aaron
and they're
Donald's got
like,
abs, and he plays defensive tackle.
right.
So.
Yeah.
He's almost 300
Yeah.
pounds with an 8-pack. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, the game is changing. Yeah, it's quite awesome, and it's like wow at the same time.
Someone said you gotta clip this and then add his tapes and tag Derrick Henry asking if he wants to smoke.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that would be crazy.
Get it in the works.
Yeah.
Indeed.
My wife's in chat and she asked because she's a big Carson Wentz fan now, and then you said you're a Commanders fan, so she says, as a Commanders fan, what's your thoughts on Carson Wentz?
Man, Carson Wentz is a great guy. He's a great person. He's a phenomenal person. I know he does a lot of good off the field. And in football, I've learned that the ball can bounce
Yeah.
various directions. So who knows what's going on? But I wouldn't put it all on him. I remember when he was with the Eagles doing fantastic things. I remember when he was at, I think it was North Dakota State.
Yeah.
He was doing fantastic things. And one thing that I tell a lot of people, like once you're a dog, you're always going to be a dog. It's always going to be in you. So
Yeah.
I know it's in there. Sometimes it's just about the coaching and things like that. I like Carson Wentz. Phenomenal quarterback, great leader. And he knows how to win games. He's been to the creme de la creme. But I feel like it might be a system thing. So
Yeah.
I can't really judge.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? I feel like if he was, I don't know, maybe in a different system, maybe had a different coach, or just had the right people in the circle, he could be on the up. But Carson Wentz is a great guy.
I think
She
that,
said, finally, an acceptable answer about Carson.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Carson gets a lot of flack. And sometimes, just objectively speaking, when you look at someone's tape, some of it is him. I'm not going to say that it's not. You have to have some responsibility.
Absolutely.
Obviously, as with the Commanders, you have Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. You got a squad with the Commanders, and
yeah,
he does have that injury. No one wants to say injury prone because obviously no one ever wants to. That sounds bad to say because you never want someone to get injured or anything like that. Like, you don't wish that on an athlete. But he does have that tag with him, and I think the media, I think a lot of people don't realize is, I know as professionals, yourself and others, it's important not to, if you see the media, like I've seen, players, we don't watch, you see what people are saying about you and stuff like that, and it's really imperative that you pay no mind to it, or at least allow it to motivate you. And I think one of Carson's things, just speaking from a fan, and taking that step back, is I think he gets in his head a lot. I think he sees the media and then kind of, but he's a great guy, and I think he's a great athlete, and he has all the tools to turn it around. So if he can do that, the Commanders are legit contenders. It's just you got to get out of your head, and that's a hard thing as an athlete. I played college rugby, Division II level, and it's one of those things where you hear people chirping on the sidelines and stuff like that, and maybe you're not having the best game, maybe you missed a tackle. You start to get in your head, and so you got to fight your way through that, and I think that's important for a lot of athletes itself too. And it's important for fans to realize that you guys are people. Like, Yes, you're a professional athlete in the
Absolutely.
XFL, NFL, USFL, whatever sport, but you're also people. So like people were
Hmm.
like, well, attacking maybe say character or attacking this or that. It's okay to I think it's okay to critique maybe a play or gameplay and stuff like that, but to I mean, you guys as athletes, I don't know about you on your perspective. I know you're just getting into your professional career, but you see a lot of these people late come after you athletes. I've seen people
Hmm.
send death threats. I've seen people just blatantly just come at athletes, and it's definitely got to take a toll. Uh, so I guess the question would be, what's one way that you stay refined? What's one way you stay focused on the main objective and not like the little chatter that might be creeping up in your ears?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's just kind of knowing where I come from. I didn't come this far to come this far, and just knowing the process and trusting the process, and I'm big on self love. So just knowing who I am as a person and being comfortable in my abilities and always understand like, you know, this is who I am. This is what I do, and I'm the best at what I do. That's why I'm in the position I'm in, and
Mm.
just knowing that and understanding that, it kind of just fuels me. And then when I uh I got a comment on, I think it was one on the video for the fight song.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's gonna be happy, but in life you can't please everybody. You know, but as long as you have
Yeah.
fun with what you do and you love what you do, then it's fine because you got a lot of couch warriors, Twitter warriors and things like
Mm-hmm.
that are always want to provoke you or things like that. But you gotta understand, like I don't know the bowler, but the guy that says who you think you are, I am.
Yeah.
Like he said something. He said
Yeah.
something that was great. He was like, "Love me or hate me, but you watched, and that's all you could do." So like, at the end of the
Whew.
day, that's all they could do. They can't affect what I personally do on the field
Mm-hmm.
or off the field. Words are it's just characters on a phone because I could just delete it if I wanted to, or
Yeah.
I could choose not to see it. But they don't really have effect on me. But as long as they're watching, I know they're watching what I do. So love me or hate me,
Yeah.
all you can do is watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're watching you for a reason. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Especially
might as
because a
well
lot
make
of
it a
people
good
want to
one.
be in your shoes, and maybe that comes from jealousy from their point. They're like you said, they're sitting at the couch, call them couch coaches, and they're sitting there like it's easy to criticize when you're not in that player or that anybody's shoes. All right, I mean, as
Mhm.
objectively speaking, from just life in general, it's easy to look over at somebody and criticize what they're doing, but you didn't walk. You didn't walk in their shoes. You didn't take their journey. You didn't take their path, and so I think it's very important for individuals, to take that self reflection. Like, hey, before I criticize this person, what have I done? Maybe what have they gone through? Big thing for my mom was always taught me was you never know what someone's going through, so always choose to be kind,
Mhm.
yeah.
even when maybe they're coming at you sideways. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, to that point, like some people out of jealousy and things like that. So I kind of always take a step back and just understand that's a part of the game, the fan interaction and things like that. So,
yeah,
I just kind of chalk it up to that's what it is, and take it for what it is and not for what I see it to be or what I think it might be. Just keep it, words are the words. But yeah, just you never know what someone might be going through. But our coach always talks about controlling the controllables. I can only control what I can control. I can't control people's opinions about me,
mm,
but I can control what I do on the field. I can control what I do off the field. Good, bad, or indifferent. I got to be able to be comfortable with my decisions and never want somebody else to influence my decisions and things like that. But you made a great point, and
mm.
your mom did a great job. That was a great lesson. That was
Thanks.
a
She'll
great
like
lesson.
that. I think she's watching with my
Yeah. She's
dad. So
definitely gonna like that. Yeah.
shout out to the mama.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad says that's what a modern day superpower is, not letting people control you. Because the
Mhm.
main thing people, if you allow people to what they say to you, either be on the internet or in person, control you, get anger out of you, make you sad or whatever, you're allowing someone else to control who you are and your emotions. So you're just
Yeah.
take that control back.
That's
Mhm.
another reason why what you're doing is important, is getting
Yeah.
kids out and about, away from the phone, away from the computer. People are going to say stuff online, whether it's true or not, just to get at you and try and control you and make you do stuff they want you to do. And it's good to take a step back, realize you're your own person. You are destined to do what you want to do. And as long as you're happy doing what you do it and make the best out of it and be the best at it.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely right. And that's kind of like, so I've been reading like this is like stoicism. I kind of just got into that, like being a stoic and things like that, being in control of your emotions, and like just learning those lessons. And that's something that I kind of talk often to whoever listens to it, just being in control of your emotions and how important perspective is, and things like that, because your perspective can really change your reality. So the mind is very powerful, and your words are very powerful. So what you put in the atmosphere and what you think can really change your reality and change your circumstance and environment if you want it to. All of it has to be willing and things like that. But that's some powerful stuff.
For sure. Are there any more questions, chat? Fire them off. It's your time to ask.
Well, I'm all ears.
Aaron said, picturing your mom crying, listening to this right now.
My mom, she's probably crying. Where do I submit my
my water boy application?
Probably like XFL.com. Might be able to get on that. Yeah, indeed. Probably some stuff up there. You get some gear, great benefits. You being around a great group of guys, and and the lady, my linebacker coach Jen. She's a great. So we'll be around all of us.
Speaking of,
I know.
Oh, go ahead.
I know. Go ahead, Brandon.
I was gonna say, speaking of gear, you want to let the people know where to get their Vegas Viper gear.
That's what I was gonna say.
So we got the shop is live and well. XFL.com. You just click on teams, and then you'll see Vegas Vipers.
And it's the only team to buy.
Yeah, that's the only team that you want to click on. We have a fight song. That's a good reason why. And we have, I feel like we have the greatest uniforms in all the sports. Might be biased, but I love it.
Look, the red on black right there. It's clean.
Right?
It is clean. I'm liking it, man.
Look, it's real clean. It's a nice look. We got the all black helmets, got the all black uniforms. We got an all white uni. Man, it's top of the line. We got the snake print, on our shoulder pads and down the seams of the pants. It's nice. I lie to you not. Top two and not two. Just let it sink in. If you want the Vipers gear, XFL.com. Go to Vipers. Go shop and spend as much money as you want.
Well, just know that it maybe not be next show, but the show after that, there will be a Vipers hat on my head on the show. I will be repping that 100%.
There we go, and we appreciate it. We call it the Fang Gang. That's kind of the coin term. Then the stadium, we're gonna call it the Snake Pit. So we're trying to establish the culture that's going.
I'm trying to go to a game now.
Oh yeah,
listen, I'm a reptile
trying to get
guy.
in the snake pit.
I'm a reptile guy. Used to work at a zoo and with the reptiles and stuff, with picking up big snakes. Now you got me wanting to. Want to start walking around. Now,
I'm telling you,
are you guys gonna? The defense has to come together if you guys like a pick six or something week one, and you have to do the global gym, like the Viper kind of. You have to do that as a celebration. That's all I request.
That's the goal. Trying to get everybody, on that page. We're working on it. It's starting to rub off on people, and they're starting to buy into the holds. So they're starting to buy into it.
If you want to talk about viral, if you guys do that, I guarantee you that thing is going to soar.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I think so too. So maybe it might not happen week one, but week 2, week 3, coming out hot.
And we'll be watching.
Absolutely. We appreciate it indeed.
Someone wants to know, what was it like getting the call to play professional football?
Oh man. So Coach Jen called me. I was driving, and I made an abrupt stop and pulled over. So it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling just to my childhood dreams to be a professional athlete were coming true, because it was a time I was just sitting at home waiting for a call, just steady training, and I was working and things like that. I never really doubted my future, But you always have those questions like, when is it gonna happen? That was kind of where I was at, like when is it
Yeah.
gonna happen? And then the first draft went past the so like there was two drafts. There was a one draft and then a supplemental draft. So the first draft went past. I didn't receive a call, but I was still hopeful. And then the second draft came around, and I got the call, and I was like, oh man, this is what I need. I just need I always told everyone, I just need an opportunity. I just need an opportunity. I don't ask for much, just an opportunity to show you what I can do. Being a small school guy, I had that chip on my shoulder. Not being the tallest, not being the tallest in the room, that was always kind of a knock to me. But I had a heart of a giant. I was a true student of the game, and I had the work ethic and drive that was necessary to be a professional. My high school coach, Coach Keith Koganius, and the other guys on the staff like Coach Joey and Coach Ellis and my teammates, they were always preaching about being a professional at a young age. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you started now, you start building those great habits now. Showing up to places early. Studying your playbooks. Studying the opposition and doing things the right way early on. When you become that professional, it'll be easy. So, I had a big sigh of relief. I felt like the weights were lifted off my shoulders, and I was just, I teared up. I was just, happy to play football again and I knew it was a blessing to me because a lot of people that I know, their last football game was in college, and they hung up their cleats after that. A lot of them are working and things like that. So I just knew I couldn't take it for granted because a lot of people would kill or give anything to be in the position that I'm in just to play football again and just be a part of something like that and
Mm-hmm.
just it was like, man, it's awesome. So I knew once I got here, I had to get everything I got, leave nothing on the table, and just lay it all out there because you never know, what the future may hold. But control what I can control, be where my feet are, and just dial in and just be the best me I could. So it was great being a pro. I got to put in my bio, and
Yeah.
got to tell all the kids from the flag football when I was, being a professional. So it was great.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Let's see
See
another
if we got
question
any more
here.
questions real quick.
What is your number on the Vipers?
Oh yeah, my number's 35. I've been 35 since high school, so I was happy that I could get 35. So yeah,
That's an old
number
high
35
schooler.
for the
No, I'm
Las
just
Vegas
joking.
Vipers. Yes, 35, man. Number 35. It's great, great number.
I like it. Now, with the XFL, are you able to is there player jerseys yet, or is it just vague gear at the moment, or?
Yeah, just the Vegas gear right now. Hopefully soon pending. Might be able to get some personal merchandise and things like that. But yeah, just for now, Vegas, all for the Vipers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
cool. Hopefully they can hook you guys up with your personal gear because I know going home and seeing a bunch of Bowers 35 Vegas Vipers jerseys would be a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
and the moment they're available, I'm buying one as
Yeah.
well. So
Absolutely. I
I'll be repping
appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And whenever they come out, I'm gonna make sure I send one signed jersey to you guys for sure.
I
This is
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Man, that
This is
thing will
awesome
be
stuff.
immediately framed and signed or
Yeah.
hung up on the wall. It'll be there
Absolutely.
displayed every single night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Definitely make sure I get that to you when that's available.
And now, do
But we
you
appreciate
see
that.
my little LED light just went off now, just bland in the background. It's only got an hour battery. I guess I didn't charge it. There it goes. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Do you see the XFL as a stepping stone? Like we said, I kind of told you a bit about us before you said yes. Was we got to interview USFL, which is kind of like another league, kind of like the XFL, and current Bengals defensive tackle Dominique Davis. Do you see the XFL as kind of a stepping stone to get some tape and potentially find yourself in a NFL mini camp and hopefully roster, or is this are you all XFL?
Yeah, definitely a stepping stone, but just for me, the way my mind works, I got to be all in where I am right now.
Mm.
So, like I'm all XFL all the time right now. I'm really dialed into what I have going for me, and my goals, align with the team goals, and that's going out, putting some great football on tape, winning the championship, and all I know is if the team does what we were supposed to do, then everything that I have for my personal stuff will come to fruition because, you know, winning games is the name of the game, and then we win the games, we all get the love that we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all get the opportunities at the next level. But right now, we just, I'm locked in on the XFL, trying to do everything I can to make sure, the guys and us, and we're as ready as we can be for these next 10 games, and then go into the postseason, and then be able to hold that trophy over our head and say we did it, and then whatever happens after that happens. So yeah.
Obviously, this is being all in for the XFL is important. Just because, like you said, you hope every athlete hopes that maybe it's a stepping stone into. Obviously, everyone knows the NFL is kind of like the big brother, kind of like where everyone ultimately wants to be, and we definitely. I mean, you put on some tape in the XFL, and you're gonna get that call for sure. We bring up Dominique's stance. He came from. I went to school with him, Division II, obviously smaller schools, UNCP in Pembroke, North Carolina, and he obviously didn't get drafted and everything like that, and had to go the USFL route. And he got defensive MVP that year, and then got the call from Cincinnati Bengals. So it's definitely important for athletes in the XFL. And yourself, obviously, to always stay on the grind and buy into the XFL and always go 100% because you never know who's watching. Especially, I mean, you got Rod Woodson as your head coach. I mean, he's got some deep connections. So,
Right.
yeah. So, I mean, going 100% at practice, he might go, hey, he's a former Steeler. He might be like, oh, Pittsburgh got this linebacker that you might want to take a look at, upcoming season. So,
exactly. So that's the goal right there. Just buy in, and then, you do good now, good things will happen in the future. So
yeah, and God's got you where He wants you. We might not always see it, we might not always be in the place where we want to be right away, but God's got you where you're at for a reason, and then He's definitely going to put you where you want to be as you continue to grind. So
absolutely, amen to that. Amen indeed, absolutely. God's timing for sure.
Yeah. My wife says she can cricket 35 jerseys. She does like crafts and stuff, so we can get like a black jersey material and put 35 on it and Bowers on the back.
Oh, if you do that, I want one.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I want one.
She said that was a joke. That was a joke.
She said that was a joke.
Hey, you put it in the chat. So you put it in the chat.
You put it out there.
So
you are locked in for it now.
She said I'm not good at that stuff. Hey, it's all good. Hey, the first one is always the test, and after that, perfect your craft.
Exactly.
I'll put it in chat with the. I put it in chat with the JK. But if he wants one, she said she'll make it for you. Just let her know.
I'm ready. I'll take it.
So just
off the count.
All right.
You got my Twitter, so just tell me your size, and we'll try to get like a black jersey material that maybe she can try to craft up.
Absolutely. I'll make sure pregame I'll have it on, walking to the stadium, things like that. Show some love.
There we go.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Babe, you have to do it now. Like chat's saying, you have to do it now.
You have to do it now.
Pressure's on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But any more questions, guys?
Love the questions, chat. It's been a great conversation. I'm loving it.
She says, I just want to be clear that I don't normally give into peer pressure, but this one time I will do it.
There
you go.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It'll turn out great.
Yeah. It'll be good.
So too.
Now, what is there's a lot of obviously big time names that are kind of in the XFL, former, like you said, you got your head coach Rod Woodson. Who are some other former big name notable guys that maybe people aren't aware of? Because obviously the XFL is, coming back from its glory days, and people are still trying to get a feel for the XFL. Who are some big names that maybe people will recognize that are like, oh, wow, okay, like I need to watch that. I didn't know maybe this guy is where he's at, or coach or whatever that maybe that
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know a lot of people talk something like Martavis Bryant. He's he's with the Vipers, so
Yep.
that was something big coming into the
Y'all
league.
got
So
Martavius?
yeah, Martavis Bryant, he's on our team. And, we got Vic Beasley.
Yeah.
We have a lot of veterans on our squad. And then I know it was a lot of buzz about Josh Gordon. He's in the league.
Wait.
He's
Yep.
Josh Gordon Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Played with Seattle. I believe the
Yep.
Browns as well. So
Browns
yeah,
is.
he's with the Seattle squad. Uh,
Matt Elam, former
yeah,
Patriots as well. He
Ravens.
was
Yeah.
with the Patriots.
Yeah.
yeah, Elam. I saw he was in the league.
He's old,
Uh,
man. He's old. I'm a
yeah,
Gators fan. I
yeah,
remember watching him like getting drafted to the Ravens way back when. He's a old head.
yeah. So I think those are like the more notable names that was getting a lot of buzz around the draft. Uh, yeah, but it's a lot of NFL talent. A lot of people that have been in the league 3, 4, 5 years,
Mm.
that are now in the XFL. Like we got a lot of guys like that kind of went that's on that path. And oh, when I tell you, like seeing how those veteran guys work, it's like wow. I could see what makes that gap between NFL and college.
Mm.
What makes it so big. It might seem minor, but the knowledge, just the attention to
Mm-hmm.
details, things like work ethic and just the small things, really perfecting their craft. If you gotta take 3 steps to make sure it's three and not four, and make sure it's not 2.5, like just the small
Yep.
things like that. Like I got a guy, Peter, like pass rush specialist. Peter, he played with the 49ers, I believe. Yeah, the
Mm.
49ers, one of our outside linebackers. And he has this nasty cross chop he does, and just the math between pass rush moves and just, all the detail that go into the small stuff, and just like reading the offense, like vice versa, the offense reading the defense, and just the things that go into, really being a student of the game. It really helped me to be able to be in a position like this, being one of the younger guys in the room,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to just absorb the knowledge from these older guys, these veteran players, and these phenomenal men. It's just like wow, this is great. So
Yeah.
like now I feel like this is probably like the most football knowledge I've had in a very long time. I was blessed with great coaches and things like that. Especially like at my more recent school, Bowie State, like Coach K Jack, Coach Sewell, like defensive guys. They really helped me hone into my skill. But now getting it from a player's perspective about the details and what it takes to be in the NFL and to stay, stick around.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to get there, but being there for the long run is what makes the difference. Just seeing
Yeah.
how those guys operate on the next level. It's been a great experience. So definitely, yeah, all those people listening out there, if you know people that aspire to be in NFL, you gotta tell them lock in, take it serious. Be a student of the game, get a lot of sleep, because the rest is important. You know, a lot of the guys tell me about that. Like you gotta get to sleep. So,
Yeah.
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 All right. Any more questions, chat?
Looks like it. We've got. I'm excited to watch you, and it's been awesome getting to know you on here. Uh, it's all that I'm seeing on there on my end. I'm not sure if you're seeing something.
Who would
Anything else on there?
Yeah, who one just came up. Who would your favorite coach have to be? Assuming that's throughout your entire playing career up until Rod Woodson. So.
My favorite coach. Ooh, this is a good one. Because I feel like I don't know. It will probably have to be my high school coach, Coach Kiko Ganius. Being the fact that like that was my first time playing linebacker in high school. I was always playing O line, D line, or running back. So and then I was on varsity as a freshman, but I wasn't really playing. I wanted to quit, so I wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him. I said, Coach, can I please go back to JV? And he looked me in my eyes and he said no. And it was like the most demoralizing no ever. I was like, Coach, I'm not playing. I'm not getting on the field.
Yeah.
But he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself yet.
Mm-hmm.
Being young, I was probably high school like 14, 15, I would say, around that age. And he saw like I had what it took. I had the work ethic, and he wanted me to learn the scheme of the defense. So the next year, I'll be in position to run the show. And that's exactly what happened. You know, freshman, I was learning. Then sophomore, that was my first time really playing linebacker. I was a captain. Then I was a captain every year after that, all conference every year after that. Went to college, you know, carrying kind of the same mindset. And then, yeah, so he really kind of, you know, set things in motion for me to be where I am, like from a linebacker standpoint. He was a phenomenal linebacker himself, played at Penn State under Paterno, and then he was with the Bills and the Jaguars, I believe. So he played in the NFL. He played at the highest
Mm-hmm.
levels and all those things. And then I was just, you know, graced with great coaching throughout my college career, you know, at Georgetown. And then I had Coach Doherty at Georgetown and Coach Sewell. He's my defensive coordinator at Bowie State, and along with Coach Kajak, he's my linebacker coach. And so I've been really, you know, blessed to be in a position to have phenomenal coaches, great, you know, thinkers, and great men off the field. So it's been long-winded, but yeah, Coach G, my guy.
Kids listen to your coaches; they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most kids would have quit if they didn't get that playing time, but you know, sitting there being able to listen and learn put you in that position to be the leader and that guy next season. So kids, if you don't have like the playing time this season, it might be for a reason. You know, just sit back, listen to your coaches, you know, take in everything that you can, because you know you never know when your time is going to come. And you know, they know what's right for you, and they're going to put you in a position to succeed. So
Yeah.
listen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like that's what people should have nowadays. Like, I see a lot of college athletes transferring. Like the transfer portal is
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's
blowing
crazy,
up.
man. Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, a lot of these younger guys don't like to compete anymore or like see it
Yep.
through to like when like commitment. When I'm thinking commitment, I'm saying like I'm coming here. I want to, you know, be here and
Yeah.
do what I said I was gonna do. And it's like, you know, a lot of guys aren't doing that as much. But you know, such a social media thing. You got all these NIL deals and things like that. So it's like it's not the same, but it's like yeah, it's
We
crazy.
should have had you on 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, 2 episodes, we were talking NIL and transfer portal and
Oh
everything
man,
and
like
the word,
that.
and
crazy.
we were talking about the word commitment.
Yeah.
Does it mean what it used to mean? And we don't think it means what it used to mean anymore. You know, the the term commitment is now just a lost term. It's now just a placeholder for
Yeah.
now, is what it is,
And I
Right.
saw
which is unfortunate.
it is kind of funny that we're now talking about this. I literally just saw I think it was a 4-star kid, which is obviously it's kind of highly touted coming out of high school, and he said he committed to one school, and then he goes, but I'm still listening to other schools. I'm still like my recruitment is still open even though I'm
Um,
committed to one school. And I was like, then why didn't you commit? You should have just said, hey, I'm
Right.
playing the field.
yeah, you're not
You're
committed.
not committed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy. It's crazy navigating that.
Yep.
But like, it's just like the social media is taking over, and you know, all the stars. Like when I was like in high school, like people had stars, but we knew stars didn't really mean much, you
yeah,
know, because you know it could be you could have a kid that got underrated, might not get all the looks, but could be the best player in the state, but just not given the opportunities and the same platforms, and maybe not be able to go to the same camps. But
yeah,
like I saw that in college, like all those stars and things don't really mean much. And then like you see in the NFL, you got people that were no stars winning championships, winning Super
yeah.
Bowls, being MVPs and things like that. So
Yep.
yeah,
And I mean, speaking on that star stuff, I mean, I'm a Florida Gator fan, and a big one is Kyle Trask, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. Who had I think it was a 2-star recruit. He's behind now XFL quarterback Derek King in high school,
hmm
and the only reason why he got a scholarship coming out of high school was because he went to a camp and that he paid to get into, and then showed off his talent. And Florida was like, "Hey, we're gonna offer you a scholarship." And then he once he got the campus, he had to still beat out 4-star quarterbacks and stuff like that to get with Emory Jones and stuff like that to get that position he is now. So I think it's important for a lot of these kids. They get caught up in the I'm a 5-star, I'm a 4-star, yada yada yada. But what are you doing to better yourself? And then when they get to campus, like you said with the transfer portal, these kids are transferring after freshman year, sophomore year, because they're not
you're right.
starting right or getting that PT they wanted. But it's like just because you're a 5 or 4-star, what are you doing on and off the field to separate you from the other players? Because when you look at these bigger schools like Alabama and Georgia, Everyone's a 5-star, and not only that, once you get to campus, no one cares what star you are. It's who's producing.
Exactly.
So if you're not
Exactly.
producing, then it's time to look in the mirror.
Yeah, once you get into like the NFL, XFL, or whatever league, your stars definitely mean nothing at that
Yeah.
point. Like if you're like, yeah, I was a 5-star in college. Okay.
Yeah.
What can you do
Exactly.
now?
Pat
What are
Mahomes is
you
a
now?
3-star. Pat Mahomes is one of the greatest
Yeah.
quarterbacks. He's a 3-star. So, I mean,
Exactly.
it's work ethic, and I like you said. I mean, going back to just your philanthropy, philanth- now I'm getting tongue tied here. Going back to going back to what you were saying as far as getting these kids out and exercising and stuff like that. That helps build work ethic as well because you're getting them out, you're getting their mind right, and you're making them competitive. I remember playing football in the backyard with all my friends at the park, whatever. And when we tossed each other into the trees, into any fences, like we were rough, like we were Brian Dawkins.
Right.
But it was like when you if you got picked last, it only made you want to get better. There was no
Exactly.
stars on the playground. It was, hey, I'm gonna take you, you, and you. You know, we'll take you, and then your last pick, and you're like, why am I last pick? So then you go home, you practice and stuff like that. And so I think a lot of these kids
Right.
today, like you said, they don't want to, they don't want to compete.
Exactly. Exactly. Sad but true.
Yeah. And obviously, like you said, you're would say an undersized linebacker. You clean my clock. I'm only 5'11", 180. So, but speaking that, you had that. A lot of people doubt you, because especially the position you play. Normally it's like what, like 6'2", 240, 250.
Hmm.
You had that not self doubt, but you had a lot of people doubting you playing that position probably your whole life. And maybe if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong. So how did taking that and hearing people going, "Oh, you're undersized," like hearing that, how does that motivate you to be like, okay, I might be maybe not the biggest, but like you talked a little bit on it, heart of a giant. How did that kind of motivate you to get to where you're at now?
Man, it motivated me, beyond measures. Like Sam Mills said it best. There's they could calculate and measure. There's always a machine to measure, height and weight, but they should make a machine to measure heart. So
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just it really allowed me to pour into myself, like to see what the greats do. Like why I brought up like Mike Singletary, Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis, London Fletcher, Sam Mills, things like that, because they were smaller guys, but they were always the smartest on the field. They were a coach on the field, and like it really just told me like I had to work harder than everybody else. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd be the first to the workouts and last to leave. If I had to go to study hall, I was going to go to study hall. If I had to have the good grades, I'm gonna have the good grades. You know, I was going to work out like harder than ever, harder than anyone else did. If I need to do two a days, I was going to do two a days. And then I had to eat right, had to sleep right, I had to hydrate right. Everything that I needed to do, I was willing to do because I knew in order to be great, given what the scouts would say about my stature and things like that, I was willing to do that because end of the day, I believed in myself
Mm-hmm.
100%. So I was going to put the house on me and double down. So whatever that looked like, whatever sacrifices that looked like, uh, I was willing to sacrifice that. If that meant you know my social life, I can do that when I'm all said and done. But you only really have a amount of time where your body is able to be in a peak shape that you need to be to compete at a high level. So, I'll hunker down and I'll focus on what I need to do for right now, and then later on when it's all said and done, I can look back with no regrets and say I gave it all I had. Boom, then I'll be fine with that. But like it motivated me to be the best. I studied the game more than ever, all the keys and all the little cheat codes and tricks that I could adapt from other people,
Mm-hmm.
or just from personal experiences. I was going to use that to my advantage. I knew I might not be the tallest, had the longest limbs, but if I could use my speed and being short actually kind of helped me because I could get under blocks. Like
Yeah.
I could take linemen off their feet because they got to come down to me, and I just explode through them.
Yeah.
So it's like using what a lot of people saw as a negative to my advantage and use it as a positive. Like you know, I'm not the tallest, but a 6'6" lineman. I kind of duck under.
Mm-hmm.
Running back not be able to see me, beat him in a hole, explosive tackles and things like that. So like Like I see it as
Immediately
nothing
makes
but
you
a
more versatile.
exactly. I
Yeah,
see it nothing as nothing but an upside. So I use every little thing to my advantage, you know. So like, and it's been shown in my career, like,
yeah,
you know, forcing turnovers, being the smartest on the field, being able to slip blocks, you know, not being seen, and then be able to explode through a tackle, or things like that. So yeah, it's been all upside for me because you know it's always about, like I talked about earlier, perspective. I'm kind of like a half glass full, like a glass half
hmm,
full type of guy, you know. So just all about how you see it. You can see it as a negative, but I saw it as nothing but a positive, and just you know, to decide to stack days on days and just become the best version of myself that I could be.
for sure. I mean, I think everyone focuses on they want to be Goliath, they want to be that big guy, and just to kind of uh, dip into that biblical sense, everyone wants to be Goliath, but it's David who won, and
Absolutely.
so it doesn't matter how big and scary you might be. Um, it's the heart and the approach that you take to it. In every
Hmm.
aspect of every walk in life, whether it be football or just life in general, it's easy to get caught up and see the stature of some people and focus directly on the measurements and see like that. But like you said, the one thing you can't measure is heart, and
Absolutely.
obviously you have that, and you've used that motivation to get to where you're at now. And so I just want to say, obviously, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Um,
I sure appreciate that.
So we have this is in chat, says last question here. This is Chad asking, not Brandon or
yeah.
myself asking this, but it says, does he hit the gritty?
Man, you know, I hit a gritty here or there. You know,
Can we see it? Can we see the gritty?
well, how about you'll see it on the 18th?
All right, there we
There
go.
we go.
Hey,
There we go.
It's not
hold
the
it to you.
world's best gritty. I've been practicing, so you
Yeah.
know, I've been working on it.
Probably
So
better than Mike Gesicki's, you know.
oh, way
Oh,
better.
anything is better than Mike Gesicki's. Anything. Anything is.
uh,
Oh my
No,
goodness.
yeah.
absolutely.
Now, if you
Well,
hit the
I think
gritty
if that
on
was a
February 18th, Taylor will hit the gritty on our next episode.
yeah, look,
So,
there you go. Look,
Right.
if you hit it on the 18th in game, I'll do it on our next show. And I hate doing stuff like that on video, but I'll make that commitment.
that's a big
There we
man doing
go.
the gritty. 6 foot,
Locked
you
in.
6'4", Taylor?
6'3".
6'3".
There
Okay,
we
give you
go.
an inch. All right.
6'3".
6'4" on his Tinder bio.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I'm married. No Tinder
Yeah.
bios over here. Don't get me in the doghouse over here. I am a happily married man. So please don't throw that my way.
Oh man, locked in. Man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely make sure I hit that gritty for you.
All right, great.
For sure.
I'm extremely excited.
Yeah.
Because I can't dance.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna have to practice now.
I've seen him dance at his wedding, and yeah,
It's not good.
yeah.
It's
It
not
might,
good.
I let's just say Mike Gesicki might look like Michael Jackson compared to what
Oh,
Taylor will
man.
be.
Look,
for,
if
hitting
look
his
if you
gritty.
hit it on the 18th,
Hmm.
I will make it like my number one priority for the next week following that day
Practicing it.
to watch videos and practice just so I can perfect it, just
Yeah.
so
There
it's
we go.
clean.
All
There we
right,
go.
sounds good. There we go.
I'll
Get
put my
ready.
everything into it.
That's what we like to hear.
I'll be
Get ready
watching.
for it.
Say
All right.
thanks
Well,
for
if
coming
that's
on the
the
show. That's the last
yeah, if
question.
that's the
We want to
question
thank you
there.
for your time,
Yep.
Wes. And
Yep.
if you guys aren't already, make sure you hit that subscription button and the bell notification for any time we go live. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube, and we are on Spotify. The episode with Wes will be on Spotify shortly after we end this interview. So make sure you check that out. And everyone, February 18th, 12 p.m. ABC, you'll be able to see Wes and his team, the Vegas Vipers, take home the W, locking
Yes,
it
sir.
in. So we can't wait for that. And again, go Vipers! And we're gonna learn that theme song once it's official. We're gonna learn that. We're gonna learn that theme song.
There we go.
So there we go. A bunch of people saying "Go Vipers" and stuff like that.
There we go. Go Vipers, go.
There we
Indeed.
go. So thank you, Wes, for coming on the show, brother. And like my wife, I'm gonna hold her to it. I'm gonna get you that jersey. So make sure Before we go, make sure I gotta get obviously your size, your address, and then we need your all the links to everything that you had said before for your philanthropy. There we go. I can finally say it now.
There we go.
And
He finally got it. He got it.
I got it. I practiced it in my head, a couple of times before I said it right there. And we'll make sure to spread that and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Hey, I really appreciate being on this show. This is phenomenal. It was great, man. You guys are great guys. I love what you guys got going on in the booth, man. It's phenomenal. Hopefully I could be on again,
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
You're
we'd
welcome
love to have
anytime.
you on.
Yeah, welcome on anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we do appreciate you, man. And again, we are obviously just starting out, a smaller podcast. You probably could have been on any other podcast that probably had 1,000,000 or 1,000 followers or whatever, and like you chose us to come on the show, and we appreciate that greatly.
We're extremely grateful.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna grow together.
There we go.
Yes,
Grow
sir.
together. If I'm eating, we're all eating. I don't. I'm not eating alone, so we're not eating alone. Make sure of that. So we appreciate you, and we pray for your safety for the entire season and
career.
Yeah, and career, and we know that God's got you. Like I said, I know you mentioned God before. I didn't want to. Obviously, I'm not gonna overstep boundaries, and I know that's a touchy topic nowadays. But being religious for myself, I know that God's got great things in store for you. And He definitely worked through your mother and used her as a tool to shape you to who you are today. And so we also shout out to Mama Bowers, because she's not only raised a great son, but that speaks on her and how much of a great woman that she is, and the stuff that 100%. She had to endure herself. So
absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. But you have a good night, man, and we'll be in touch and stuff like that. So
absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Go Vipers.
There we go. Go Vipers.
Go Vipers.
All right, guys. Like I said, make sure you hit that subscription button. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I cannot wait to watch the XFL on February 18th and watch Wes and his teammates. Taylor, you got anything left to say before we end the show?
No, just thank you for everybody that came out to watch the show. Thank you for the questions and comments and everything. I think that was a fantastic show. I'm glad that everybody was able to get engaged and throw out your questions and get your answers and everything. And hope you guys tune in for the next one. Make sure you follow all social medias and tune in next time.
All right. Thank you, guys.